Are you excited for Canelo versus Jermall Charlo if that is the fight announced on May 4th?
For a lot of different reasons, yes.
Yeah.
One of the reasons being, can he dominate the bigger Charlo as he did the smaller Charlo weight wise? And Charlo looked good against Benavidez, man. Benavidez gave him the kind of fight that Charlo needed to get some of that rust off and polish a little bit. So if he's able to do a little more than his younger or his smaller brother did, we may have an interesting fight. I'm not completely dismissing Jermall. I think that he's as live, even more live, I think, than Jermall was, because he's going to be closer to weight, closer to strength, closer to Canelo than Jermall was.
My whole thinking is this. Let me put it this way: if you were to have a deck of cards, okay, and it's like, here are the major players on this deck. And you pull out a card, it's Charlo. You put out a card, it's Crawford. You put out a card, it's Benavidez. And you think, okay, out of those three choices, which is the one me as a fan wants to go to? Charlo is the last one of those choices. I'm not saying it's not going to be a good fight. I think it is going to be a good fight. And Charlo is going to do a lot better than Jermall. And it'll be an exciting fight. But it's like, come on. Like, the fans, like, I have a good sense of the pulse of this sport, okay? The fans want to see Benavidez. That's the fight for Canelo. And if not, Crawford, because of just how damn skilled Crawford is. People feel that he can bridge that gap and potentially give Canelo a great fight, if not beat him, which a lot of insiders feel that Crawford can beat Canelo. But it's like, you got to give David's been the mandatory for how many, you got to give this kid the chance. You got to give he's earned, that's the thing. He's earned it. David has earned the fight, but yes, Canelo's the boss. He can do whatever the hell he wants, but that I feel like the reaction towards this is not, they feel it's a terrible fight or not a competitive fight. It's because you have a guy in David Benavidez for the last 2 years that has earned his right to be able to face Canelo through interim fights and defenses and yada, yada, yada.
I'll give you some points.
Yeah.
First,
you're gonna tear them all down?
The first thing you said that is so true is the fans. Okay? Who cares?
Who cares? Oh, okay, no. They're the ones paying.
Listen. Oh, no, they're not. Listen.
They're not?
Listen. The second, no, they're not. Not the fans that are complaining.
Okay.
They're not the ones paying. Okay. Second point. Will he get more money to fight Benavidez? Canelo. Will he get more money to fight Crawford? Will he get more money to fight Charlo? It's gonna be the same. Very little difference. When you get to those amounts, it doesn't matter. 10 million doesn't matter. Okay, because the risk doesn't matter. It's not as important. And when you say he's the boss, you're absolutely right. But no, they haven't earned the right to fight him yet. They haven't fought at that weight yet, except for Benavidez. But
I was going to say Benavidez.
One fight.
Yeah,
Benavidez had one fight,
but he's been the mandatory for 2 years now, 2.5 years plus. Listen, that's earning it.
If you know boxing and if you've been around boxing long enough, you can make the mandatory anybody you want. Am I wrong?
No.
You can petition. You can call. You can bug an organization and fight. You've seen guys that fight nobodies and become the #1 contender. So that really doesn't matter. I think you have to. I think it's got to be based on merit, and I think David is probably the closest to merit that fight. But one fight is not going to do it. Canelo continues to fight, and look at the resume. Look at the resume of Canelo, and look at the resume of David, and look what they've done to those guys in their resume. Look at the resume of Crawford, as you and people keep saying that you should fight him. He has never fought anybody at that level.
Wait. Oh, weight-wise, no. But level?
No.
Skill-wise?
Yeah.
Canelo?
Yeah, but he's listen, why don't we put a Nui in there with him?
No. Hey,
oh, no. Okay, well, it's the same thing. He has never fought at that level where you can, if he's able to have a fight at 60, let's just say, what I would have liked to have seen, let me see.
Crawford.
What I would like to have seen is Crawford fight Charlo.
Yeah.
The bigger Charlo that Canelo's fighting, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And take him away from Canelo.
Yeah.
He beats that Charlo. Okay, now we're talking because now we're closer. I think we're closer to that merit based right. Oh, and there's no such thing as a right. He has the right to fight. You know who has the right to call the shots? Canelo, because he's already done it. So listen, I think we beat him twice. I think that we got robbed. Okay, but the fact is that he's got a win on his record. He's got a draw on his record against Golovkin. He's got 2 wins on his record against Golovkin. And the fights that he fought after, look at the record. Look at what he's done compared to the other guys.
But Abel, you
That's
guys were making the same argument that David is making when you guys were campaigning to get that first fight. Gennadi's the
yes, sir.
mandatory. He's
Yes, and
knocked
we
out
had
all
20.
these guys.
And we had 20 knockouts in a row against world champions. Who is David fought, knocked out world champion? Okay, so there's
Well,
a difference on how David did. There's a
not
difference on how
every
David
person
did it.
that Golovkin beat was a world champion. He was the world champion. He was knocking
Okay, but
people
how
out.
many
Yes.
world champions did he stop? How many #1 contenders did he stop? And he stopped them in a dramatic fashion. What did he do to David Lemieux, who everybody thought was David Lemieux's bigger at that time than anybody David's fought? Okay, so we had a right to do that.
But Benavidez has
like
been
you
on a
say.
tear, though, no?
Oh yeah, of course. So
Stopped Andrade.
yeah. Andre, who hadn't fought in how long and was a 60-pounder.
Hey, he's still skilled, though, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So is Inui. I'm saying, I know. Yeah, I think that. Listen, I think that David fought a great fight in his last fight, but I've been saying it all along. He's got to earn the right. Quit talking so much and go out and fight somebody
But he has, though. He has been like he's been fighting the guys that
why isn't he fighting
the
Charlo?
WBC has been putting in front of him to get that title shot. Like, what more can you ask from him?
What more can you ask is you have to stand in line for the guy that's running the show.
But he has been in line. That's the thing. He's been making his way to the front of the line, knocking off.
When Floyd got to 47, did he fight all the guys? No, he didn't fight all the guys that he was bringing up from 130. He never fought anybody like that people were forcing him to fight. Nobody. You know, I had a sign in my gym that said, "Everybody's got something to say about lives they've never lived." Okay, Canelo's got a right. He's the only one that's got a right to call his own shots. Why? Because nobody that we're talking has ever done what he's done to this point. David hasn't. David has got one good win that we can say was, wow, that's who?
Plant and Andre.
What did he do to Plant?
Good wins.
What did he do to Plant? What did he do to Plant?
He was pretty dominant in that one against Plant.
Okay, he decision Plant. Was Canelo dominant from the 6th round on? From the 5th round on?
Yeah, no, like Canelo knocked him out. But you can make the argument,
baby against a man. No, but he didn't knock him out.
No, Canelo knocked him out.
Not that he knocked him out, but not that he knocked him out. That's not the point.
Yeah.
It's how he beat him. He beat him like a drum from the beginning. You know, so that's how you have to. I think, in my opinion, anyway, that's how you have to merit them. Put them on a merit basis. You know, is he ready for Canelo? Yes, he's ready for Canelo. He's been ready for Canelo for a long time. But has he earned it? I don't think so. Of course, neither has Charlo, of course, and neither has Crawford. Because
I would say out of anybody, like Crawford, you can make an argument that he has
weight wise. He's never beaten anybody at that weight.
Okay, who he is, the stature, the accomplishments he's had in boxing, I would say, yeah, Crawford can demand a fight like that.
And Nui has 2. Gervonta Davis has 2. Devin Haney has 2. Teofimo has also. You know, you can't base it on that because you're talking about different weight divisions. It's like saying Canelo's earned the right to fight Tyson Fury. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. But if he wanted to, he could make that happen.
Well, it's the same thing as Crawford fighting Canelo, because if Canelo fought, I'll give you an example. When Roy Jones moved up in weight and he started fighting all these guys, and he finally fought as a heavyweight, okay, he earned the right to fight as a heavyweight. Terrence Crawford hasn't earned the right to fight as a heavyweight, as a super middleweight. I'm sorry. So that's how I look at it. If he was to fight, to me, the perfect fight for Charlo, and I don't know if we talked about this before, the perfect fight for Crawford should have been Charlo.
Yeah.
The perfect fight for Benavidez should have been Charlo. Eliminate the opportunities that Canelo has out there in front of him. Eliminate those. And if you eliminate those, then he's got no choice but to fight you. Who else is he going to fight for that kind of money? So the guys that are in line should be eliminated by the guys that are in line.
But it's tough, though, too, you know, like you're saying he should have done that, Benavidez, but on the flip side, if you're on that other side, you're like, well, why am I going to fight this Benavidez guy when I have a high chance that Canelo wants to pick me and I make the biggest payday of my career, you
Do you
know?
do you think that Crawford and Charlo would have been a fight that could be made?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
so why wasn't that made first before Canelo got him?
Well, Canelo hasn't announced anything yet, but I would imagine like the reason why is because both know that they can make more money with Canelo.
Sure, but they're waiting in line. I mean, they're both long in the tooth, so they're waiting in line until when? Maybe
Mm.
Canelo never fights him. Okay, so they have a chance to make a decent payday. I think the Crawford Charlo does very well. But then it's good for both guys because if both guys will put themselves in line ahead of Benavidez for Canelo, in my opinion.
Oh man, I hope that it's just completely opposite of what we're saying. And Canelo goes, I'm gonna fight Crawford and then Benavidez. So that sets up
Well,
Benavidez and Charlo on some other day, and it all leads to this big super showdown in September. That'd be great.
yeah, good for the fans. Good for the fans. Not good for Canelo
Not good for Canelo. Why not? He's making a ton of
because
money that way.
he beats a Crawford. You and I will be talking. And says, you see all the fans that are talking. He beat a little guy, and he looked
Ah,
bad doing it.
do you
And he
think
looked bad
really,
doing it.
really
Look,
that would? I don't know. I
absolutely,
just I see Crawford as so
absolutely.
skilled, and like at the end of the day, like my thing would be say that does happen. Say that hypothetical alternate parallel universe they do fight, and Canelo because he's big, ends up getting a majority decision win, and people are gonna look at it and say like, hey, it's because he's so much bigger. My response wouldn't be like, well, he's a little guy, he's a little guy. It's like at the end of the day, like Terrence is the one asking for it. He asked for it. He wanted
Just
the fight. So like, what more do you want? Like
yeah,
you
but
being
fans
in
are.
a competitor position, be like, yo,
But
this guy called me out, like, and came up. Like, what do you expect? You know?
yeah, fans are fickle. Fans
They
are
are.
fans
Yeah,
are
that's true.
fans are gonna accuse him of cradle robbing, accuse him of taking the easy fight, accuse him. Okay, he made $50 million, and they're gonna accuse him of just going for the money. Why didn't you? They'll say, fight Benavidez. You should have fought Benavidez instead of Crawford, but everybody's clamoring for Crawford. He fights Benavidez, says you should have fought Crawford because Crawford is a better fighter than Benavidez. So you're never going to satisfy the fans. But remember, a while back, when he was going to fight, who the heck was he going to fight at 100? When he was at 160,
Hmm.
if he didn't choose this guy, he was ducking that guy. If he didn't choose that guy, he was ducking the other guy. So you're never going to win. So the bottom line is, like I said a little while ago, is who's got a right to decide is Canelo. He's got a right to decide because he's got the resume to decide. Uh, and everybody's after him for economics. That's all it is. But and
Payday,
I understand that.
payday.
Yeah, I understand that because when we were Gennady was in his heyday, everybody that fought him made a lot of money. So that's what it's about. I mean, that's what it's all about. But when you say the fans are going to be criticizing him after beating Crawford. It's a no-win situation for him. Other than he's going to bank, he's going to put money in the bank, but it's a no-win situation for him.
Oh, isn't that the biggest one right there? Is the amount of O's you got in your bank account?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But if he
There
can,
you
if he
go.
can, if he can beat somebody else like a Charlo with the same kind of money going in his bank, and he's not going to get criticized, and if he gets criticized, it wasn't somebody that he didn't get that criticized when he beat the other Charlo when he beat Jermall.
No, he
But if
didn't.
he
No.
beats no, but if he fights Crawford and he beats Crawford,
You know what?
that's a
That's an
lot of
interesting.
weight.
Well, yeah, yeah, one more weight class, true,
Yeah.
but more skilled opponent. But no, yeah, yeah, no, you're right. I wonder,
Is he a more
how that
skilled
would be.
opponent? Is he a more
Crawford, then
skilled
Charlo, then
opponent?
Jermel.
Okay, then why doesn't he fight Jamal? If he's that much more skilled, why doesn't he fight Jamal? And he'll beat Jamal easy because
Mm,
Jamal and Jamel are comparable. I mean, they're
mm.
they're very good fighters, they're very good champions, but they're comparable in abilities. So if Crawford moves up and beats Jamal, which is what, 13 pounds? Yeah, if he beats Jamal at 160, uh, then okay, then yeah, he's credible enough to fight Canelo. That's my opinion, of course.
Yeah, no, of course. But if
Uh,
you were to give Jermall the choice, hey, there's this fight with Crawford or this fight with Canelo, he's gonna go Canelo 10 times out of 10.
course, it's more
Yeah,
money. It's
more money.
economics.
Yep,
It's
yep, more money.
economics.
So
Yeah.
that like that scenario can't happen. It'd
So
be
now,
nice.
what do you think? Does he think he can beat Crawford?
Ooh,
Do you think
Canelo.
Jamal? Jamal.
I'm sure if you ask any of these fighters, you know Abel,
Okay.
they all think they
So
can win.
Jamal beats Crawford. It's a bigger payday against
It
Canelo.
is. It is. It is. Yeah, it is. But
The same thing. The same
if
thing
you were
for
to give them
Crawford.
the if
Crawford.
you were to give them the choice though, either or, they're always going to
Yeah,
go with
but
Canelo.
if they don't have that opportunity, if they don't have that opportunity in front of them in the near future,
Yes,
if
but it
if
looks like they
Crawford,
could have that opportunity for them in
if
the near future.
yeah,
Yeah.
Charlo, yes. If Crawford beats Charlo, isn't it a bigger payday for Crawford against Canelo? I
Oh,
think
of
so.
course, definitely. Yeah.
Of course,
You
right?
know, but
So that's what I'm
it's
talking about, eliminating each
Ring.
other and
Yeah, Ring
hopefully.
Ring Magazine's reported that it's done. The Canelo
Or
versus
Jamal.
Charlo. You know, but they're the only ones that come out with it. You know, I haven't seen any other confirmation, which yeah leaves Crawford with an opponent still, and
Yeah,
Benavidez
I
as well.
think you and I think you and I talked about when he beat the first, the younger Jermall or the smaller Jermall, or the smaller Charlo, I should say. You and I talked about who would be next, and if you go back and listen to that, I think
Yeah,
I
you
said
said Charlo.
Jermall was going to be the next one.
Yeah, and
That's
then you said
natural
Benavidez.
progression for me.
Then
Yeah,
you said
natural
Benavidez
progression
at the
for me.
end. Yeah,
Yeah.
but now with Munguia, who knows? Because that's turning out to be a big fight too for him.
Yeah, well, I see Jermall in May. I see Benavides in
September
September, and I see Munguia May whatever,
of
May of the next year, 25, 25.
2025.
Yeah,
Man, we're in 2024 already. Wow, that's crazy.
I know you're getting old, man.
Yeah, look at all these canas that are all over my head. These gray hairs. But as always, Abel, great catching up with you. Really appreciate the time with you. As always, thank you so much. For you guys that are listening, make sure to follow us at Fight Up TV and subscribe to the channel. For myself and Abel Sanchez, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us over here on Fight Up TV.